Your body buckled over you as you resist the urge to vomit. Oh God! I, I swear to you, I thought this man was about to choke me out. Welcome back to Mushroom Oasis. It seems that we have a part 2 or day 2 a brewing, and if you enjoyed the last one, we're going to make this a whole series as many episodes as they release. I don't know how many it is, but this is day 2. We already read this part, but this is the part I had to go back to. I had to read through everything again. I just kind of wanted a refresher anyway. I didn't have to, but I wanted a refresher on this because I read so many visual novels, and not to mention the games that I play offline and online sometimes clash, and I'd be having to remember stuff. So yeah, as far as I know, I think this is where we left off at in episode 2, and if not, that's fine. We'll just read a little bit more because I know it hasn't been that far. A soft humming invading your dreams, stirring you awake. Oh God, what is that? It sounds like somebody's lighting a lighter. I blink my eyes open to the unfamiliar surroundings, swaddled in a blanket that clearly wasn't mine. Where? And sorry if I'm losing my voice, you guys. I'm trying to not lose my voice. I am drinking tea and taking medicine for it and everything. It's just this cold is kicking my butt, so forgive me. Oh, look at him. That is so cute. And let me make sure the sound is right. Okay, I want to make sure everything is perfect. Okay, it's fine. I spot the familiar figure of my host seated on the stool in front of the fire, hands deftly working on a green scarf bundled in his lap. Oh, I mean, I can't see the color, but I mean, oh, it's so cute. His back was towards me, but I caught glimpses of his fingers as the needle softly clicked between the yarn. He looked incredibly adapted at using them, the rhythmic movement almost hypnotic as the fibers wound together into an intricate pattern. I slowly stirred into his sitting position, rubbing my eyes. The movement quickly caught his attention, ears flicking in my direction before his eyes trained onto me. Just like last night, his pupils blew up as we made eye contact. Oh, look how cute he is. He's so adorable. I'm telling you, again, I don't feel like he's a bad guy. I just feel like he's a lonely guy. And that's okay to be a little lonely. His expression lit up with the instant he saw me. Voyia, I'm glad you're finally awake. You look so tired. I didn't want to disturb you until you've gotten enough rest. Good morning, Michael. Oh, he looks so worried. And I love his little cardigan he has on. It's so cute. Good morning, Voyia. Did you sleep well? Groggle, groggle. I was still too groggy to answer his question, a yawn slipping out as I stretched. Scrubbing my eye. Ouch, itchy, itchy, itchy eye. He smiled kindly, a soft chuckle under his breath, like a baby then. He pointed over his shoulder to the door beside the fireplace, tilting his head towards it. You can freshen up in the bathroom if you like, while I start making us some food. I'd have eaten breakfast by now, but I wanted you to join me while the food was still hot. How do eggs and toast sound? Oh, that's cute. Sounds delicious. I mean, if I'm at your house, I'm in your establishment. I'm never gonna make it hard for you. Eggs and toast, delicious. Great. I'll see you in the kitchen then. He tucked away his knitting materials and set it aside. Oh, I also have a surprise for you after breakfast. It's not the most exciting surprise, but just join me when you're ready. And I love how nervous he is around me. He ducked into the kitchen without another glance. I could hear his boots thud about the floorboards, cabinets opening and closing in succession in the kitchen. I suppose that's my cue. I rolled off the bed, leaving the warmth of Michael's blanket and trotting over to the door Michael pointed out. Oh my God. Did he make all this himself? What an interesting little bathroom. Stepping inside, I didn't know what I was expecting when he said that he had a bathroom, but it was surprisingly spacious. Everything looked like it was carved and polished out of wood. He seemed to have everything you find in a modern bathroom: a sink with a cabinet, a shower, and a tub, and even a toilet. Curious, I crept over to the toilet, in particular, inspecting it. There wasn't a tank like you'd expect where the water would be stored. Instead, there was a compartment to the side full of sawdust and a scoop. Oh, like a cat. Okay. So he got his setup like kind of like a cat. Let me fix my mic because it's bothering me. It's kind of like tilted a little bit. Okay, there we go. I was expecting it to have at least a bit of a smell, but it was surprisingly odorless. Jesus, I can't talk today. There was even a roll of toilet paper on the side. It was no flushing system, but it was still hygienic. Okay, Michael, look at him keeping it up together and stuff. Michael must have done his research. Absolutely. Walking over to the sink, I stared at the faucet before hesitantly twisting it. I jumped when I heard the rush of water pouring in, swirling in the basin before disappearing to who knows where. Okay, he has running water in the kitchen. You wash dishes, so of course he has running water in the bathroom. Wow. Why am I impressed by a darn functioning bathroom sink? I helped with the dishes last night. I already knew Michael had plumbing. Shaking my head, I finished freshening up and head to the kitchen. Michael looked up as I entered, a steaming kettle in his hand with 2 empty mugs on the counter. Aww. Again, I don't feel like she should be like, oh, I don't think I can ever see you again type of thing. I think they should be friends, and like she should come visit him sometime. Maybe get him a phone, because I don't think he'll be able to go to the store and get a phone, but she can get him a phone and stuff, and put him on her little phone plan, and they can talk and stuff if he can get reception out here. That would be a problem. And yeah, they could be friends and stuff. That way he doesn't have to feel lonely anymore. And maybe he could possibly use the thing to reach out to more people. Who knows? It might have been lighting, but he was taller than I remembered. Glancing to the table, I could see he already finished plating up our food. Oh, wow. You work fast. Michael looked proud of himself. I can't have my guests stay on an empty stomach. Go on, have a seat. I'll join you in a moment. I returned the smile and sat down, stomach grumbling as I looked at our plates. Oh God, that looks so delicious. Michael, this man can cook. He's cute. You cannot tell me Michael's not cute. He's everything. Like, come on, where are you going to find a better guy? Where are you going to find a better guy? Once again, Michael was generous with the serving sizes. Fat slices of bread were toasted perfectly with crisp butter sides. Scrambled eggs looked tantalizing, the smell of savory herbs wafting into my nose. My mouth watered. Look, is he a egg seasoner or is he a cheese and eggs person? Because people won't season their eggs sometimes and they'll put cheese in it and be like, oh, the cheese has enough seasoning in it. And it's okay to sprinkle a little salt in there too. I personally like my eggs the cheese and eggs way with no seasoning. Don't judge me, okay? I don't like seasoning on my eggs. I just like my eggs regular. Just nothing. Michael set down a steaming mug beside me before settling into his own seat. Peeking above the rim, I could see small flowers floating about, tinting the water yellow, a faintly smell of apples. I recognized the yellow dry palette on the tea packaging I've seen before. Oh, chamomile. He nodded. I hope you like it. I'm sure I will. His smile widened, his tail swaying at the tip by his feet. Oh, he's so cute. He seemed more relaxed, showing his natural features this morning. Any trace of panic and hesitation from last night were gone, replaced by a look of contentment. I love it. Michael bit into his toast and I followed suit. The food was as delicious as I expected. The chunk of toast I bit into was heavenly. The butter sweet on the tongue and the eggs. Something about simple home-cooked food is just the best. Michael was happy to eat in silence, occasionally looking up at me as I enjoyed my food. He smiled when our eyes met, his bottom pair narrowing into the happy squint. I always forget that those are eyes under there. They look like little marks instead of eyes until he opens them. I wonder if he'd be open to some questions. Hey. Do you mind if I ask? How'd you learn how to cook? Cottage pie is a pretty complicated recipe. I was just wondering if anyone taught you how to cook? I'd be lucky if anyone could teach me how to make boiled eggs, Firefly. It was trial and error mostly. My earlier endeavors were, pretty much inedible. I picked up a thing or two about cooking though, so your taste buds aren't gonna fall victim to any nasty creation like in my early days at least. Look, we all gotta start somewhere, Michael. Don't even worry about it. Speaking of, did you enjoy dinner last night? Of course I did. You're a really good cook, Michael. I'm glad. It probably wasn't obvious, but I'm really happy I got to cook for you. I don't get guests often, in case you couldn't tell. I should ask you to cook for me every day then. How, if you're going home? I wonder if his house is actually, I know she said she walked for a very long time, but I wonder if her house is actually super far away from him. I don't know, maybe like a 30-minute walk or something. He grinned at my joke, looking pleased. I'd be happy to. I chuckled as I took another bite. So, what's your favorite thing to cook? He lit up at my question. Fried mushrooms. Fried mushrooms? No offense, Michael, but I thought that you were some type of mushroom, like a human mushroom type of thing. So I wouldn't have expected that you eat mushrooms, but okay. I'm down with it. It's cool. Yeah. There's plenty to find and it's easy to make. Huh. I do remember finding a patch of mushrooms yesterday. They smell pretty funky though. You remember that? What was that? Nothing. Anyways, mushrooms were the only thing I had for a while before figuring out I could eat other stuff like roots and veggies. I don't like how he said you remember that. That brings me back to the little pink stuff that was like fluttering around me and stuff. Michael, did you have something to do with that? Do you forage all your ingredients? Mostly. The time I figured out how to catch fish and hunt game were the best of my life, I'll tell you that. My first taste of meat. He did an awkward version of a chef kiss as he mimicked something he saw on the television once. Mummer Mia? I think he meant, okay. Was he trying to say Mamma Mia? He continued before I could dwell on it for a second longer. But nothing beats what humans are able to make. You guys go nuts with ingredients. Rice was a challenge. It was a precious ingredient since I actually have to get some from the store. But once I figured out how to make it, it was nice and fluffy, and I considered it a special treat. I did a double take. You go to the store? Yeah. Where else would I get it? I thought you would grow it yourself or something. He laughed as I flashed in embarrassment. Yeah, listen, I'm gonna be honest here. I don't even know how to grow rice. I don't know where it comes from. Is it come as a tree? Does it grow out of the ground type of thing? You know what? I just might look that up, and I encourage y'all to go look it up too so y'all can learn something, because I bet you like 10 of us that watch this video is gonna probably be like, where does rice actually come from? It's flattering that you think I'm even capable of something that impressive, but no. There's only so much the forest can provide. But what about money? We're talking about human currency, right? Otherwise, how would you even... Did you actually have a job? A thought occurred to me. So the thought that he had a job wasn't what occurred to me. The thought that popped in my head was, is he stealing? Like that's the first thought that popped in my head. Or did he steal it? See, I told y'all he might have stolen it. He almost looked offended. Do you take me for a criminal? No, but that would mean, then how? Michael bit into his toast. His two eyes winked in mischief. Okay, Michael. Okay, little Michael. I have my ways, Firefly. What's that supposed to mean? How do the plumbing... How do you have plumbing in your house? Jesus. She is very curious about this, I guess we could ask this. I know it's a silly question, but I can't stop thinking about it. Oh? You were wondering about that. The embarrassing look on my face was probably enough of an answer. Aw. Well, it's nothing fascinating. It's just rainwater I got stored above the cabin. Just rainwater? He nodded. I detected a hint of pride as he continued. It's actually a recent installment, believe it or not. Ah, so he was pooping in the forest. I get it. You were doing it natural. It's cool. It's cool. Nothing's wrong with that. You're in the forest. Who's gonna judge you? Not me, certainly, and definitely not anybody watching this video, okay? Because if you were living in the forest, you would be pooping in the forest too, so shut up. Most of y'all that go camping, I would never go camping, but most of y'all that go camping poop in the forest. Granted, the project took a while. Gathering materials, figuring out tools, finding the right instruction manuals. Plus, I had to figure out where to store the water tank. And don't worry, I installed a filtration system so it's safe for us to use. I check it every few weeks to make sure nothing's contaminated. Oh, thank God. Because I was going to say, wait a second, that same water that you're using in your water tank is using to poop with, is you using it to wash your dishes? Because now I'm going to throw up probably. That sounded daunting, especially consider he lived all the way out here in the woods. You did all that on your own? I kind of had to. Anyway, it took a whole lot of calibrating and adjusting, but it really worked out. And now that I think about it, I'm glad you get to be comfortable here during your stay too. Does that answer your question? Yeah, Michael. Yeah, it kind of does. I don't care about the toilets, okay? But Voyia in the game cares about the toilets. By the way, when I started this back over, I don't know if you guys are playing this along with me, but when I started it back over, they let me choose the sex of my cat and my pronouns stuff. They let me choose my pronouns before, but they went in a little more detail in the beginning, so you might want to play it back over like I did. What's it like living in the woods? I still can't believe how cozy you managed to make it, considering the whole middle of nowhere thing. It wasn't like this when I found it. No? It was a major, fix her up her. So the cabin was abandoned. I never would have guessed. Yeah, I'm really, really happy I get to live somewhere permanent for once. Oh, so he was jumping back and forth. Poor thing. Oh man, when you think about it and all the stuff that he probably went through and stuff, you gotta be delicate with him. It's not much, but it's home. What's it like? Peaceful, quiet. I do like it a lot. The forest provides me with everything I need. And no one bothers me for the way I look out here. His ears twitch slightly. Sometimes you just happen to end up where it's most convenient for you and everyone else. Even with people being afraid of him, he's trying so hard to make it comfortable for them. That's so sad. People just need to leave people alone. Mind your business. The way he avoided my eyes as he said that gave me the impression there's something more to it. Like his home wasn't just out of convenience, but fear of something else. Rejection, perhaps? Or something else. Anyways, I don't really have anything else to say about it, unless there's something specific you want to ask. He doesn't think about his answer much before beaming at me. What about you? I know you told me a little bit about yourself, but what's it like being you? I scoff, waving my hand. Please. I'm the least interesting person in this room, trust me. His eyes were shining in earnest as he leaned forward. Tell me anyway. Oh, well, I told him about my life, at least the parts I was comfortable with sharing. Just like last night, his eyes didn't leave my face, occasionally darting about my features and interests. The direct oogling was making me nervous, but I suppose I was doing the same thing when it was his turn to talk. Yeah, she kind of was just like oh, look at this and look at that type of thing. Eventually, I came to a topic of my job and the woes of living in the modern capitalism. I am a bit jealous. You have the whole cottage core aesthetic practically perfect. His eyes morphed into a confused pout. Cottage core? I explained it to him in my own words. Oh, you're saying you want to live the way I do, out in the woods? I nodded without hesitation. I mean, I wouldn't mind showing you the ropes. His tone seemed strangely lidded. What do you mean? Never mind. Anyways, I don't get what the appeal is, but it's not easy either, you know? The forest provides, but it's up to me to make use of it. Starting out was... A dark look crossed over his face then, as if reliving a bitter memory. Oh, like when his face looks like this, when the facial expressions change, I swear, like I'd be like, "Oh my God, what's wrong, Michael? Let me make it better." Rough. No, but I'm built for survival. I feel like asking him to elaborate would make things awkward. I decide to veer the topic into a different direction. Does it get lonely? Sometimes. But I'm used to it. He smiled, his eyes lighting up. Besides, I have you at the moment, don't I? I never thought I'd enjoy having someone around. You must be really special. I'm starting to know a lot more about Michael. He didn't directly say it, but it felt like he was lonelier than he was letting on. Not to mention, he managed to make a home for himself, all on his own. I had to wonder if he had anyone at all. Do you have any family around? Family? His expression turned solemn for a moment before he looked sheepish. Remind me how that works again? I get the concept based on some books I've read. I don't have what you call parents, if that's what you're asking. My mouth dropped open in shock. No parents? He shrugged and took another bite of toast. Not that I recall. Uh-oh, I didn't see that. Not that I recall. Then, wait. Not that, wait. Then, how did you... What's that like? Living with so many people like you in such close proximity. Oh, so he changed the subject instantly. Okay, Michael. Huh. That's how it works, right? You and other humans living in a house. And you have this, DNA that makes you related to the rest. That's what makes you family, right? Was he talking about DNA? His definition threw me off, but I had to answer somehow. Not just that. Family are people you related to, like your mom. Okay, no. People that you love and care about. That's more of my definition. I have people who are blood to me that I would never call family. But I have people who aren't blood to me that I would go to the end of the earth for. Actually, I guess they are just people that you live with. No, people that you love and care about, who love and care about you too. Yep. He seemed intrigued. Is that so? That does sound nice. Is there anyone that you love and care about? Yeah, I love my friends. Of course I do. I love my family. Yeah, I love my friends. Your friends can be considered family too? Yeah, I don't see why we have to be related to be family. I even consider my cat family. Oh, and this is the same for all families? Somebody brought up a good but interesting take that what if they gave me the option to choose whether I wanted meat or no meat because that meat is my cat. And I was like, no, he didn't cook Kitty. He couldn't have possibly cooked Kitty. But then I thought about it for a while and I was like, what if he cooked Kitty? And it wouldn't be far fetched because he lives in the forest and the cat ran in the forest. He was hunting and boom, there he is. Oh man, that would suck. And this is the same for all families? I bit my lip, pondering the question. It would be naive to think that. A lot of families do love and take care of one another, but not everything's perfect. Sometimes that love can be misplaced, or taken advantage of, or even abused. Michael looked thoughtful. So, it starts with love? I've read some stories about that. Love, I mean. Though certain feelings just don't make sense to me. At least from the reader's perspective. I guess you'd have to experience it for yourself to understand. He stared at me unblinking for a moment. Yeah, you might be right. I've never considered that. Then again, who would bother loving a monster like me, huh? What? You're not a monster. I look like one, don't I? That's besides the point, okay, Michael? To me, he doesn't look like a monster. He just looks like a kid wearing cosplay, I'm being honest. So I would just be like, oh, it's a kid playing cosplay. That's cool. That's awesome. Hey, it's a little realistic there. You can move the tail. Oh, man, you got to show me how you built that tail. I need one type of thing. But then I would just go on about my merry way. You're not denying it, though. I didn't read that. I'm just saying, it's okay. You don't have to lie to me. So, family? Right. To be fair, everyone's definition of family could be different. What about you? What is your definition of family? Michael looked surprised I asked that question. I don't know. I've never had one, and I think your answer just confused me more. Well, if you ever figure it out, let me know. Michael stared at the remaining crumbs on his plate before he nodded, avoiding my gaze. Sure. Aw, we both felt quiet, the lull of conversation blanketing us in a comfortable silence. All the family talk, it reminded me of the reason why I'm out here in the first place. To look for my beloved cat, a sight I might never be able to see again. Oh, that hurt my feelings like I lost my actual kitty. I couldn't help the sinking feeling in my chest, the growing pit in my stomach. I wish I was able to find Tum Tum. You would have loved her. Michael opened his mouth to say something, but changed his mind. The voice warbled as a lump formed in my throat. Sorry, I just miss her so much. I keep thinking if I just went looking for her sooner, maybe I would have been able to find her by now. He was quick to speak up. You did your best, Firefly. No one else could have gone the lengths that you did. You almost risking your life for a kitty. And I know that's how he looks at it, like you're risking your life for an animal. So you must care about the animal, but I can't understand and comprehend why you care about the animal. I wish that my character was better at explaining, but again, like I would probably be worse. So she's doing a lot better than me. I'm sure wherever she is, she's doing okay. You really think so? I I know so. See, that look on his face made me think he has my cat and he just doesn't want to give me the cat, or he cooked it and he made me eat it. Please don't tell me you fed me the kitty. His voice was laced with confident assurance, despite the worrying look on his face. I nodded with a quiet sniff. I hope so. She's just important to me is all. Michael looked like he wanted to reach across the table for me, but sighed instead. Actually, I'm sorry, Voyia. I should tell you. Uh-oh. Maybe I do have a family, now that I think about it. That was a surprise I mentioned before. Wait, really? He nodded. Are you done? I could take you to meet them right now. I looked down at my plate. During the conversation, I didn't realize I finished the meal. Yeah, I'm done. His movements were quick, stacking our empty mugs in place and setting them in the sink. I can't talk today. He grasped my hand before I could say another word, pulling me up and heading outside with me in tow. Oh God, the door shutting scared me. As the door swung open, I could only see Forrest ahead before he tugged me along as he rounded the sides of the cabin. Almost immediately, my peripherals were assaulted with the greens of both sides. I figured he was the type to grow his own vegetables, but to see it in person as confirmation was a whole different thing. With Michael leading the way, I only had a moment to take in the surrounding gardens. He had marked different plots with messy drawings of small wooden signs jutting out of the dirt. Carrots, lettuce, potatoes, trellises from tomatoes and beans. I wouldn't have been able to differentiate one plant from another without the signs. Even the chamomile from the tea just now grew abundantly close by, the small buds swaying gently. I bumped into Michael as he suddenly stopped. The man looked over his shoulder to beam at me. We reached what looked like a fenced-off area with a bit of netting stretching all around. He stepped aside, watching me as my eyes widened. Oh, they're chickens! They're little chickens! Chickens! 3 fat, happy little hens strutting about like they own the place. As he entered through the gate, the hens swarmed over in an instant at Michael's feet, circling him and pecking at his boots. Ladies, meet Voyia. Voyia. Oh my God, I'm gonna butcher these names. These are Marwar, Sunsuyu, got it, and Primrose. Or, as I like to call them, Marmar, Sunny, and Rosie. Oh my God, that's so much easier. Thank you. Thank you, Michael. He ducked to pick one up, fluffing up the feathers with a smile. He gently scratches the hen's little head, which I assume was Rosie. She practically melted at his pampering, eyes sliding shut. The other 2 flapped their wings in a huff and went about their business once more. Michael leaned closer, beckoning me to pet Rosie. She was so soft. Rosie's the oldest. She doesn't lay eggs anymore, but I couldn't bring myself to, See, now that he said that, I really don't think he hurt my cat at all. You can't bring yourself to kill a old chicken that can't lay eggs anymore, then you can't bring yourself to just see a cat in the wilderness and just shoot the cat. So I borrowed some friends. Marmar came first. Sunny is more recent addition. What do you think? Do we make a good family? Oh, look at it with the chicken. I love it. I love everything about this. I laughed and nodded, watching as Rosie nuzzled into Michael's chest. I didn't expect chickens of all things. Were you expecting something else? I was expecting it to be someone else. Oh. No. When you look like me, people generally don't stick around. There's that negative self-talk again. You don't even look that bad. His eyes flicked to mine, a look of pleasant surprise across his face. You really think so? Yeah. You can't be that naive, Firefly. I mean it. He let out a polite scoff as he scratches Rosie's head absently. You genuinely believe people wouldn't run away at the sight of me? Well, I didn't. His smile turned smug, the corner of his lips lifting just a bit. Of course you didn't. Because you couldn't. Shoot. He wasn't wrong. I was pretty much paralyzed in his bed when we first met. Yeah. I would say we barely could move. We had, our body was weak and everything. But I still don't think you look that bad. Is that so? Describe me then. What? You heard me. Look at me and describe what you see. Alright, I got this for you because I know this girl's gonna mess it up. I see a warm, welcoming face. Your eyes, although your lower eyes at the bottom are very shy and attentive and kind of show more of your personality, your eyes at the top look amazing. Your ears show your personality as well. They stick up when you're, excited. They stick down when you're sad or depressed or worried and stuff. And even your blushing blue or purple, I think it was blue, it's kind of amazing. And not to mention, you can tell you have a heart of gold. So boom, I nailed that. Let's see how the character in the game does it. For a second, I thought he was being condescending, but looking at his eyes, all I could see was a bit of playfulness. He looked at me expectantly, eyes shining. You're tall? Go on. You have blonde hair. He gave an amused squint, his left ears twitching. What else? You have green skin and a tail. He chuckled, though there was no malice in it. But that's not all, is it? He's definitely expecting me to say it straight. Oh, fine. So you don't look human. So what? He hummed absently. I was just saying, animals generally don't care if you look like a monster. My heart twisted at his words. His passive nonchalantness somehow makes it even worse. Michael, you're not a tug at my shoelace caught my attention. Well, hello there. Look at you. Which one are you, Sunny? You gotta be Sunny. A light brown hen stood at my feet, her beady eyes shining. Sunny flapped her wings almost expectantly. Aw, I think she likes you. Go ahead, pick her up gently, like how I did with Rosie. So I remember when I was younger, I found out that you're supposed to grab the hen's feathers when you pick them up. Otherwise, they are liable to, if they feel startled or spooked, they will start flapping. So I went to the fair one time, this like Delmar Fair or whatever, and they had this chicken holding thing or whatever. And I grabbed the chicken, but I grabbed the chicken by its feet and stuff, and the chicken started flapping. I started screaming as a kid. I was a kid. I was 9 maybe, or 8. I hesitated, but slowly lowered myself to cuff Sunny under her wings. Lifting her up, she was quick to nestle herself until she was comfortably tucked under my arms. I could feel her wings wiggling as she nuzzled into my side. So cute! Michael gaze softened as I cooed at the chicken, mimicking her small clucks. So, did it help? Cheering you up, I mean. Oh, so that's what this was. A fuzzy feeling blooming in my chest as he looked at me, chickens in arms and concern on his face. A little bit, yeah. Only a little? I snickered, rolling my eyes. Okay, mister. A lot. That's more like it. His proud grin was affectionate. I couldn't help smiling back. We spent a bit more time with the hens, petting them until they were satisfied. Michael even showed me a spot where they'd like to have their dust baths. Hens do dust baths? Chickens do dust baths. I call them hens, but they're chickens. They do dust baths? I didn't know that. Little chicken-shaped holes scattered about in the dry soil underneath the coop. Bah, I bit my tongue. Ouch, that hurt. Once the gals had enough of us, we refilled their watering container before leaving. He left some treats, procuring them straight out of his pockets before shutting the gate. The girls' excited chatter over the food faded as we made our way back inside the cabin. I sat by his bed as he crouched down by the fireplace. From the window, I could see the sun outside getting higher. It might be close to afternoon now. Hey, Michael? He looked up at me from where he was stoking the fire. I rubbed my arms, unsure where to place my gaze. I think it's a good time for me to go now. His expression fell, but I caught myself quickly. He's done his best to cheer me up. It'd be inconsiderate towards him to leave in a bad mood. I might have to accept that I'll never see Tum Tum again. Oh my God. I don't know why that made me sad. That made me sad right there. I think it's better if I focus on moving on. He was quiet for a moment, hands in his pockets. If you say so. But you don't have to leave just yet. We still got plenty of daylight left, and there's some place I want to show you. Won't you come with me? I had to decide. No, wait, I didn't get a chance to, wait a minute. I didn't even get a chance to pick. He just kind of busted in. I promise I'll take you home right after. He took another step towards me. Please, Firefly. How could I say no to that? He's so cute. I didn't want to say it, but he looked desperate. Okay. I'll go with you. The joy on his face was shining bright as a billboard. Great. Let me get our stuff. He disappeared into the kitchen, returning with a backpack in one hand and a satchel in the other. He passed it to me as he walked by towards the front door. Huh? I almost forgot I had this. Rifling through my bag, I found the cat treats, Tum Tum's collar, and a broken compass, and my phone. The battery was dead, though. Still, that's one less thing to worry about. See, I could buy him a phone. Like I would reassure him, look, I'm gonna go back. Ouch! I hit my mic. Sorry. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna buy you a phone, and we're gonna contact and communicate through that way. And then that way, you'll be able to talk to me anytime you want to and stuff. And then you can come visit me instead. Like, you can look at my house or apartment, maybe. I don't know. I don't remember what I stayed in, but a house or an apartment or whatever. And then everything will be okay. Like, you don't have to worry about being alone anymore because you can come visit me and I'll visit you. I checked in my bag once more, finding an empty water bottle. I frowned, distinctly remembering I forgot to pack water for my trip. Or at least Michael told me I did. Didn't I? You ready? Oh, he changed clothes. Oh, you're so cute. I look at Michael, startling when I spotted the large crossbow in his hands. He followed my gaze and shrugged, a bit with a nervous smile, like he'd been caught doing something he shouldn't be. He quickly strapped the weapon to his back out of sight. Don't worry, I'm not going to use it unless it's necessary. I would hope not. Jesus. What do you think? It's the woods. You never know what's in the woods. Like, I lost my lady cookie in the woods, okay? Not in real life, but you guys, if you remember my, play of that other game, that man was hiding in the woods, okay? And this man seduced me and took my lady cookie. That's all I'm saying. He chuckled at my indigent tone. You think I'm going to let you out in the woods without guaranteeing your safety? I made a promise to get you home. So this is just an extra precaution. You don't think that's a bit much? Better safe than sorry, Firefly. Yeah, he's right. Anything could attack you. You never know. He did have a point. If anyone knew these woods and the kind of danger it held, it'd be Michael. I glanced over him again, noticing he changed his oversized cardigan for something more outdoor appropriate. His eyes tracked mine, his shoulders stiffening as a tint spread across his face. Yo, look at this little blue. So, shall we? He opened the door and waved me out. I stepped outside to glance around his front yard. The landscape wasn't anything special. It was actually left quite plain, just thick with trees and foliage. Only the paths of dirt and flattened grass clued me in the routes Michael would use as he comes and goes, webbing in all directions trailing to the front door. Come to think of it, anyone passing through would be able to spot Michael's house if you squinted through the trees carefully enough. I guess he was right that nobody's walked through this area in years. I heard a lock turn before Michael joined me by my side. He smiled wide before tipping his head in the direction, making sure I was behind him before he started walking. I was hesitant, but I followed suit. It was quiet as we traveled, save from the sounds of nature calling out around us. I think it would be better to travel without making noise in the woods so you can hear when something is like creeping up on you. Ain't nothing more scarier than not hearing a bear until it's 2 seconds away. The weather was bright and warm, the sun casting pretty rays through the gaps in the trees. I had to admit, enjoyable as it was, the bird calls and rustling of leaves as we walked somewhat brought bad memories. Yesterday was miserable. I was lost, tired, and hungry. There was a chance I wasn't going to make it out alive. I watched Michael back as he led the way, the man barely paying any mind to his surroundings. His ears would occasionally flick back in my direction, but overall, he seemed confident on where to go. Having Michael as a guide home was definitely a great assurance. It made me even more grateful he found me when he did. I sighed and shook off the negative feelings, keeping pace while appreciating the fresh air. I stepped up next to my companion, willing my voice to speak after plenty of silence. This is actually kind of nice. A good old nature walk. I coughed into my fist, feeling embarrassed. I don't go outside as often as I should. Michael smiled kindly. I'm glad I get to bring you them. Yeah, feels different when you know where you're going. Actually, where are we going? He sensed my nervousness and laughed. Don't worry, we're almost there. Oh boy. Here's where I think the game's gonna... See, sometimes these games like this will catch my attention. And I'm like, oh my God, they're so amazing. These games are great. Woohoo! And then they turn really dark, really fast. And then I feel like the creator of these games be watching my playthrough and laughing at me like she thought it was gonna end good. Oh my gosh, she's stupid. Look at this idiot. I looked up and I saw it before he even pointed it out. A clearing in the distance, the trees growing strangely sparse in that area. I held my breath as I noticed the grass slowly starting to dot with flowers, delicate blooms swaying here and there in the breeze. As we got closer, Michael watched me as my mouth dropped open, a knowing twinkle in his eye. It was breathtaking. A secluded little meadow of flowers, lit up by beams of light, making the scenery resemble a page from a forgotten fairy tale. Butterflies flitted about in pairs, the wings flickering and complementing the surreal yet enchanting ambiance of this whole place. Michael let me gawk some more before walking ahead, turning to face me before sitting down to relax on the grass. He slipped off his satchel and laid it on the grass by his side along with his crossbow. I blinked out of my stupor and approached him, spinning around to drink in everything before plopping myself down next to him. So, what do you think? Pretty, isn't it? Oh, Michael, this is a pretty picture of Michael. Oh my God. I love it. I nodded dumbly before finally glancing to face him, the man's gaze on me softening as our eyes met. A butterfly approached me rapidly, making me flinch on instinct. Oh God. Look, that would be... I love butterflies, but let me tell you, if a one flew at me, I'd be scared. I'm scared of all bugs. It landed on his finger as he held it out. His wings flapped gently. He smiled at the dainty creature, a fond look in his eyes before he held it out towards me. Do you like butterflies, Voyia? Oh my god, I love butterflies. I do. I think they're so pretty. This is amazing, Michael. His usually prideful smirk was absent, replaced instead with a shy smile. I'm glad you like it. The sun at its peak now, the air getting warmer as minutes passed. The leafy canopy over us provided enough cover for us to not overheat. Michael picked the flower with his other hand and placed it in my palm, his tail looping loosely around us both as my cheeks darkened. Oh, this is like a little date. It's so cute. I know they're not thinking of each other romantically. I mean, my character kind of is. I don't feel like that's where he's leaning at. He just wants a friend. But yeah, it's so sweet. He closed his eyes and leaned back further, the butterfly still resting on his hand. My ears caught a soft rumbling before I realized it was coming from his direction. I almost wanted to ask, but I didn't want to ruin the moment. My gaze dropped as I twirled the flower in my hand, holding the stem delicately. The gesture felt platonic, but also romantic. I wonder if Michael was even interested in relationships. He'd been alone most of his life. I mean, you see, my character is leaning more towards that, but I don't think that's what Michael's looking for. He just wants someone to be there, and that's all he wants. He'd probably get tired of my presence sooner or later. Before I can contemplate further, the butterfly on Michael's finger took off, my gaze trailing after it as it left the sunlight and flew away into the woods. Which reminds me, Michael? Don't get me wrong. This place is stunning. But is it okay if we go now? He straightened from his relaxed slouch. Why? We just got here. I chewed on my lip hesitantly. I love it here, I do. But I want to go home, Michael. Michael studied my face. Voyia, do you want to leave me that badly? What? No! I need time to recover from losing Tum Tum. I know it's silly and dramatic, but knowing she won't be there when I get home, I trailed off, another shot of guilt and regret filling my chest. I just need to get it done with. Oh, we gotta have a mini kitty funeral. I feel a hand rubbing my back. Michael nodded slowly, looking me in the eyes. His smile was gentle. That's okay. I understand. But maybe, oh no, not this again. But maybe this place can help you with that. It's a nice spot to nap in, isn't it? I picked it out just for you. Why don't you go ahead and lie down? His words made you sway. A sudden bout of sleepiness weighed heavily over your eyelids. He was right. It is a nice spot to nap in. Why were you in such a hurry? You yawned, laying back to stretch on the grass. The warmth from the ground seeped into your clothes, luring you into a sense of comfort and safety. Come on, Michael, don't do this. There you go. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm reading it like Michael. Just spend some time with me. Just a bit more, please. Oh God, no. I'm glad he likes me, and he doesn't have to hypnotize me or whatever he's doing. I'm telling you, he's a part of Mushroom. Oh, here's something else I should show you. He reached into his satchel. Oh God, what is it? He pulled out a wooden box. It's called a kalimba. I hope I said that right. I blinked slowly, clarity coming back as I shook my head to pay attention. The box fit neatly in his hands, Michael holding it as if he were typing on a phone. I could see it had a hole in the middle with thin strips of metal arranged in a triangular shape over it. What does it do? A proud smirk spread across his face. I'll show you. Oh. He began to pluck at the metallic prongs. A gentle ring. Oh wait, let me make sure this isn't loud. Shouldn't be that loud. It's kind of loud, not super loud. Like right there. That's fine. Okay, I had to turn it down a little bit. He began to pluck at the metallic prongs, a gentle ringing sound resonating with every flick of his thumbs. I couldn't recognize the song. He must have made it up himself. I closed my eyes, enjoying the tune. Michael gave a soft chuckle as he kept playing. Relax and listen as long as you like, Firefly. Okay. Or I have to say, how long do I have to listen to it? A few minutes passed by with Michael plucking away at the instrument, the two of us sunbathing like two cats on a Sunday afternoon. I must have dozed that the next thing I knew, I felt a nudge on my shoulder. Comfy? He chuckled low when I refused to open my eyes. I mean, if you'd rather stay. My eyes shot open, my body jerking to sit up. Michael glanced at me, the kalimba in his lap and a half of forget-me-not chain in his hands. A forget-me-not chain? Oh, okay, the flowers he's making. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. What? I shook my head, slapping my cheeks. I can't believe I fell asleep. I still need to... It's all right. He cut me off. His sigh was heavy. I was hoping... Never mind. I don't like this look in his eyes. You see this? That right there scares me. He patted my shoulder, though his smile didn't reach his eyes. Thanks for being here with me. Maybe we can do this again sometime. If I ever see you again. Oh, he clearly thinks that I'm just gonna leave and never come back. And that makes me feel bad because I wanted him to know that I'm coming back. Sorry. I looked away for a second because I thought I heard my phone ringing. Let's get you home. Well, at least he's gonna help me get home. He rolled over to his feet and stood up, brushing off the dirt and fixing his satchel. Come on. We gathered our things and set off into the unknown once more. Well, unknown to me at least. Michael seemed to have a map of this place ingrained in his brain. I can't stand people like that. I get lost going to my mailbox. I promise y'all, it's not even funny. Like, I would have to call and be like, help me get home, please. Because I'm scared. Like, I have to, it's just too complicated, okay? So I hate people that can be like, oh yeah, you just take a right on Albuquerque and you'll make it there. Like, come on. Like, no way your sense of direction is this good. You seem a bit sleepy still, so let's freshen up, okay? We walked a bit further away from the clearing, coming across a river. Compared to the rest of the path we walked, the area was shaded considerably with a thick canopy of leaves over us. The flowing water looked inviting as I kneeled down by the bank, Michael idling close by. I dipped my hands in, eager to wash my face. The water was refreshing and cooled the heated skin in the afternoon sun. Yeah, because you fell asleep in the sun. I'm surprised you don't have sunburn. I pulled my hands back to see Michael peeking over my shoulder into my reflection, smiling with a faraway look in his face. Oh, God. He startled as your gaze met, irises darting away to look at himself instead. Immediately his expression changed. Oh, no, Michael. His ears flattened, a grimace twisting his features as his lips curled back. Oh, no. He doesn't like the way he looked. I'd never seen such contempt in his eyes as I did then, staring at his own visage. He stepped away, retreating underneath the cover of the tree to lean against it with crossed arms. He doesn't notice me watching. I patted my hands dry on my shirt and approached him. You ready? Yeah. I stopped him before he could turn to leave. He looked at me with questioning looks, tipping his head. I hesitated. I wasn't the type to speak my mind directly. Most of the time, I'd keep things to myself and let things go by. But nobody should look at themselves and have that sort of reaction. Hey, you know you're not, might as well be frank. You're not a monster, Michael. He looked taken aback. What makes you say that? I saw how you were looking at yourself, how you talk about yourself. None of it's true. I keep telling you, you're more than just your appearance. I don't know what compelled me to do it, but I did it anyway. I reached for his hands and held them between us. His eyes widened at the contact. All it took was a day with you, and truthfully, I think you're the most amazing person I ever met. He made a choke noise. Oh no, Michael. I'm just some old nobody compared to you. That's not... Shut up and listen. He promptly shut his mouth with an audible click of his teeth. From where I stand, you saved my life. You've taken care of me better than I could ever ask from a stranger. That already proves to me that you are not the monster you think you are. You're charming, you're smart, and you're sweet. You're a million more wonderful things, but you are not a monster. I take a second to compose myself, lowering my voice. You may look different, Michael, but guess what? The multiple eyes staring into mine, ears flattening as if fearing the worst. That makes you all the more beautiful to me. His breath hitched. Oh no, I didn't mean to embarrass you. I just wanted you to know you're not a monster, Michael. You're amazing. You're gorgeous. And you're saving people's lives out here. You're even taking me home when you really don't want me to leave. You're an amazing person. I could feel his hand squeeze in mine, fingers trembling. It was like he forgot how to breathe. Oh God, are you okay, Michael? Michael, are you okay? I realized my hands were getting sweaty. I pulled away hastily, scratching my neck to avoid his gaze. I could feel the blood rush to my face. I could dunk my whole head in the river, and it probably let off steam. Sorry, that came out of nowhere. It just didn't feel right if I didn't say anything. I hope you understand. An awkward silence passes between the two of us. Anyways, I caught him mumbling underneath his breath. Oh my God, what? Lord, I cannot see that. Let me grab my glasses real quick. Okay, I got my glasses. I'm leaned in so close to my screen that my eyeballs are touching the screen. I can't let you leave. I think that's what they say. What? I said, you can't leave. I mean, not without your cat, right? I frowned. I've already tried, Michael. Like you said, it was stupid for me to just wander off in the woods as if I'd find her through dumb luck. He paused, his fist clenching. But I haven't. Huh? I haven't tried. I know these woods better than anyone. I can try looking for her. But that means you can't leave yet. Michael, I appreciate that offer, but I don't think I should stick around any longer. I have a job and a responsibility and you hiss in pain, a sudden migraine overcoming your senses. Oh God, the pink is kind of hard for me to read too. I can't really see it. You felt sick, your stomach wringing itself into knots. It felt like the world was warping around you as your legs wobbled. Your body buckled over you as you resist the urge to vomit. Oh God! I swear to you, I thought this man was about to choke me out. like Kano style. Like I'm gonna insert a clip somewhere, but I promise you I thought this man was about to Kano choke me. Michael caught you as you... Oh God, I gotta catch my breath. Hold on. Scared myself. Michael caught you as you slumped gracefully into the ground, your head resting on his shoulders as he cradled you close. Hey, you don't look so good. Your vision doubled as he spoke, his speech oozing together words into an indecipherable mess. Are you okay? You need me to carry you home? Yes, please. Yes, please. Yes, please. I don't think any one of them mattered. Okay. No problem. Just just hang in there. Hang on to me. Oh boy. I'm so worried. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. You don't deserve this. If I could just one more day with you, I'd be the happiest man alive. Here we are. Let's get you all tucked in. I should give you some clothes, especially since you'll be staying another night. You'll be okay with that, aren't you? That is all from day 2 of Mushroom Oasis. Oh my god. Michael, oh man. See, I told you if we made it clear that we would come and visit him and stuff, this would never happen. This would absolutely never happen. More updates coming in the future. Tell me what you think about the game. Any support and feedback is highly appreciated. So that means that y'all need to go and play this game and tell the creator where they can improve at and what they can do better in the game. I personally think it's perfect and it's getting good and it's making me want to play more. Thanks for playing. Oh my god, that was amazing. Thank you guys for watching. I truly appreciate it. I'm losing my voice, so as y'all can hear, I'm like slowly getting quieter and quieter because I'm losing my voice. But thank you guys so much. I truly appreciate it. I hope you guys had a fantastic day, and I'll see all of you guys in the next episode. Peace and love.